action, yeah. A little bit of tarp rigging. I've got a lot of little gadgets and strings and basically a mess of stuff from over the years. These thicker lines and bigger poles have been my most success. They don't really get tangled, they're a little heavier. This line is from Superior Gear, this little gadget line tensioner from Dutch Wear Gear, and then these little tiny reflective pieces of orange cord came off the Amazon internet. I forget the company. And also I had these came from Grand Trunk. They're just kind of cheaper paracord type riggings. What was I gonna look for? Oh, I had a whole tarp with the little tiny Dutch clips. Here's a little gadget. It hooks to different things. It's got the line tensioner on one side, so I've got the net to the hammock connected to this little fixing on the tarp. And so many tarps you see them, the tie out is here and over here. I've struggled with the Blackbird to figure out how to tie it off different ways, so that's a Blackbird XLC hammock. Beautiful hammock, very comfortable. Anyway, you end up with a pile of stuff, and most of it I get into this little thermos thing I found alongside the road. I did a video at night that didn't come out so good, it was so dark. It's like, yeah, I'll show off this stuff. This is the most popular place to get the stuff from, I think. Dutch Wear Gear, though I'm sure you could find some others. I get this. Well, I have a broken sternum strap on one of my backpacks, and then I have these nylon. This is not mine, but you can rig your nylon straps to be a belt. Then I got the lightweight cord. That's Dutch Wear Welcome. Zing it, lash it. And then this that I'm using most recently, this gray cord, is a Superior Gear. Came off their website. But you can get all these things. You get the old, I use it to just the old style line and different things, just rig things up. And this came off the Yukon Outfitters Rainfly there, which I use all those on my backpack. You get the old paracord, but this thicker, I think it's called Amsteel. It came from Simply Light Designs. I think you can get these off Simply Light Designs. Some of the companies are kind of particular about keeping those. You get this from Hammock Gear, this from the outdoor store, Bushwhacker, some different thicknesses of shot cord, where I've kind of done some riggings to this hammock. You can see where you can take these, which I never use for much, but here's just another idea. I just, tied the shot cord on and popped it through the tarp. I'll probably mainly keep this tarp for now with this hammock, so this is just kind of stuff I haven't gotten in the field much, just because this Hammock Gear bottom tarp, bottom under quilt, and a puffle, which I've doubled them up. The puffle just isn't nearly warm enough, and then the Hammock Gear I got a little too small, but it works in the summer. I got this to come out really cool. I just tied the piece of reflective. I don't know how I got so lucky for that tie to come out so good. I don't know knots very well at all, but you can see, and if you need to, you can just stake the loop on the ground. Such a big rainfly. I see why some companies have gone to just kind of cutting it off, but you have a bicycle, and I had a Bass Pro gift card, so that's what I had. The stakes, lately I've been using carbon fiber from Z-Packs. I think are the best, but Dutch Wear has them. At Stakes, Mount Laurel Designs. Get my buddy Cooney just got a hammock, so you want to know about all the stuff. These are the tiny ones. They're different sizes. Like, you can't run that big thick cord through that. But a lot of people are using these tiny ones with the zing it and lash it. Or like this is working well. It's from the Superior gear, I think this line, and then the highly reflective from Amazon. And then I just like these at the end, but I do have a tarp with the teeny tiny little, I believe they're called Dutch clips. I think that's what I was looking for, actually. Here we go. Here it is, right here. See that thing? How small it is? It is basically serving the purpose as this is. You know, just a tiny little clip. I just wanted to make one as small and tiny as I. Then a lot of people still just tie it. Hey, that's about the simplest way if you know your knots. I don't. So, but some people do. They use these spike hitches, and I think it's called a Merlin spike hitch, and they have different colorful names for them. And I wrote down some notes just to see where this came from. Dutch wear gear, Simply Light design, Superior gear, hammock gear, autumn outdoor gear. Well, autumn outdoor gear, and they all have names. Most of these places, there's a name to associate. Dutch is Dutch, Superior, Simply Light is Jared, Danny's Superior, Tad at Hammock Gear, or Autumn at Autumn Outdoor Gear. But you can have this all done up. Like Autumn took the guesswork out of it, and the company, whatever you want to call it, she just rigged these. These are called NAMA claws. It's just the idea that the tarp lines are not configured to the tarp. You're just going to put them on. Maybe you rig them on there yourself, or just tie the NAMA claw or whatever. I'm just getting into the beginning of this where these tarps get more complicated. Like I have a Superfly, so it has doors and everything and pull outs. A lot of people keep the tarp lines, the rainfly lines, inside like a fancy little bag. Trailheads, nice company out of Ohio, I think, Dayton area. Some camping there and stuff. They have some festivals or something. They make a little organizer for these. It's about like this, and you can put your lines and stakes in there. I thought that was pretty cool. But I get to making videos too long. What really works, I would say this is the apex of what works. It's a 4-point tarp. I use a really small hammock with it. What actually fits in your backpack. These bigger, thicker lines just do not get tangled. And if you ever needed a thick line, you know, your hammock broke a string, or you had to climb something, or I don't even know why you want a thick line, but I just feel like they're easier to grab. So this is the main, these two tarps, Yukon Outfitters Walkabout Rainflies, they've been in service since 2016. This one's kind of become just a leaf cover or ground cloth for messing around. It's getting too beat up, but this is in pretty good shape. Couple patches on it, and then I got that newer one with the ultralight riggings. But that's the simplest. Now Simply Light Designs has a little band around these are only like 25-50 cents, but you can tie them on yourself. But if you want simple, I think they got them for a couple dollars, maybe $2.50. You can, it has a piece of strapping on the little adjuster. Now Autumn will say these adjusters might slip. I think a lot of it is finding the cord, so I think I feel like I like this rounder Superior cord a little more maybe than this go-to industry standard zing at latch. This might be a little slick and a little smaller. What I'm saying is they slip, S-L-I-P. And that's where Autumn has these NAMA claws that she kind of swears by them. Like, I'm gonna try them. I've had these. I wanted to get a better tarp, and I just haven't. And I've been keeping these for, I want to get the little organizer and just try it some other people's way. But I've been carrying this around. She also rigged up, there's this super, you could tell, super lightweight NAMA claws. Then she's got some other riggings, just these hooks, like you can have your line just rigged to a hook, kind of like I have this hammock net. I guess War Bonnet to my knowledge, has moved to Tennessee. But great hammock. This just feels good being in it. I've got to get some sort of better underquilt for it, bottom quilt. I don't know about the Wookiee, because some people say, man, I'm a bigger guy in this. I'm testing the Dutch wear, and they're willing to make one about the incubator underneath this puffle. They're willing to make one a few inches wider, but I'm like, man, I think I need one, 7.5, 10 inches wider, closer to the size of this puffle. We're talking the winter when it gets cold. Of course, there is puffle. They're making a trail quilt. I just haven't got a good test of that because I bought like the 50-degree version, which doesn't really, I think if it was like a 20, it'd be good to go. But just some stuff.